would be the wrong music. Let's try this one.
This is the Bears Barroom Radio Network. The following program is recorded live and intended for all audiences.
Radio is scripted now. We just come up with it. We don't use computers. We don't rehearse. We're going to talk about this next. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Bulls. And then we're going to have Brad Bigson. And then we're going to have all this. No. If you don't know what you're going to talk about in the top of your head before a show, you shouldn't be in the business. I don't know what you got. I feel like Vince Vaughn in a couple's retreat. The Sharks are circling. Old school, baby.
You're listening to the Mike North Advantage, and it begins right now.
That's right. The Mike North Advantage starts right now. I am Aldo Gandia, Mike's wingman, and boy, oh boy, we are off to a hump day, terrible day start here at the Barroom Network as we had some difficulties with our video transmission, so we're doing it the old-fashioned way, audio ways. Mike, are you there? How are you, my friend?
I'm good, Aldo. We're going way back to about 3 weeks ago when we're doing this only by audio. Today we've had a little trouble with the connection. It happens. I understand that. The thing that bothers me is my hair looks great. You saw it.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Today on video, I've dropped a couple pounds. I had a nice baby blue shirt on, so I got to be honest with you. There's no such thing as a 10 with Irishmen. They go, what is he, a 7? They go, yeah, boy, that's pretty high. You know what I mean? I'm about a 5 today. That's how good I look, buddy.
No, I disagree.
I got the hair, the bouffant, I got it all up, and then, boom, we couldn't get the video on, but we got 3 picks. We're going to give all our picks today that I give on Win Daily. Mm-hmm. We're going to do that right here today, sometime during the show, my friend. So
yes.
We're off on a 5-2-1 roll since the NFL ended. I'm kicking ass at all the other ones at ESPN 1000, Win Daily Sports. And speaking of Win Daily Sports and all the fine people there, change your game, change your life. You just go with my picks, you change your life. I tell Aldo this, when we first got together, he could have built another house. Could have bought land. WinDailySports.com. At WinDailySports.com, we provide with articles, podcasts, sheets, projection models, lineup optimizers, and our DFS sports betting expert chat, which is great. They do great with fantasy stuff. Talk one-on-one with the pros as they help you mold winning lineups. You just got to go register at WinDailySports.com and follow us. We're getting near the 10,000 mark at Win Daily Sports. Now, also at Bears Barroom, we're getting near the 12,000 mark. Which seemed like an impossibility. I remember joining. We were at 49.95, folks.
Wow.
That's how far back we go. I mean, Aldo, it seems like only yesterday, but it's been what, 3 years already, my friend?
It's 3 years, yeah. Coming up on the anniversary.
We're rolling, baby. We're rolling. So, yeah, we got some games today. We got some fun. A lot of things happening in the world of sports. Getting warmer out there, although today it's a little bit windy, my friend. But other than that, things are looking good.
Have you hit the golf course yet, Mike?
No, you know what? They don't open it because it's still soft from the snow.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and, there's still snow on the ground in a lot of places.
Yeah.
You guys still got snow by you? Is it all completely gone now?
No, we've got patches of snow. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I could wait.
Yeah,
today would be insane to play. You hit the ball. The pros complain about the wind. Can you imagine us?
That's right.
Come on.
I got
to listen to a bunch of professionals. Oh, it's windy. They called one of the days off for an hour because of wind conditions at Pebble Beach.
That's right.
You're on the ocean. What do you think you were going to have?
That's right. I played on a windy day once. I hit a 9-iron to the green from about 100 yards away, and the ball ended up 100 yards behind me.
That's right. It just keeps going, right, baby?
That's right, man. I can't wait to get out there, and hopefully you and I can swing the clubs.
Absolutely.
But first, we've got to talk about all of this news that's happening in the world of sports, and then we'll get your picks later in the show. First of all, here in Chicago, Allen Robinson has been tagged. He's got the franchise tag, so he's going to make $18 million. Now, he's got to sign the agreement and then show up to play. And the thinking is that he'll probably do that. The only player who hasn't done that in recent memory was Le'Veon Bell. He sat out the entire season, and that really ruined his career because he hasn't played like or earned anything close to what the Steelers were offering when he refused to sign. So what are your thoughts on ARob being franchise tagged, and do you think this thing is going to end up amicably?
Is this what he wanted? This isn't what he wanted.
No.
He wants a long-term deal. He wants to go somewhere else. I mean, he had 102 catches last year. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I keep hearing he had no quarterback. Mm-hmm. Somebody threw him the ball. I don't know if they threw it from the stands, sideline. And I really had no quarterback, and he has 102 catches. The ball got to him. They shot it out of a jugs gun. I mean, the nonsense I'm hearing here. But I don't think this is. He didn't want 18. He wants more than that. But you know what? We'll see what happens. Could he be part of a trade? Could he be part of a package deal?
Mm-hmm.
Is Mitch going to go? Because here's what I'm going to tell everybody. Elbow knows this. The only guy that I would replace Mitch with is Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
If we get Russell Wilson, it's going to be, we'll make the playoffs like we did this year, but they're going to pay more for him. We'll have less players, good players, and it will be just as hard to make the playoffs. I don't care. The guy's a great quarterback. I love him. But he'll, he's going to be tested. He's going to be tested. Because I don't know what kind of deal they got concocted. It sounds to me like, I read what Greg Olson said today. He's not going anywhere. So where does that leave the Bears?
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I looked at a list of the free agents
mm-hmm.
the other day, the quarterbacks from Jameis Winston. You go down and look. Mitch's heads and tails better than any of them.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Mm-hmm.
They can't work it out with this kid. It's been so cool, so quiet. Nobody's writing about it. Everybody's trying to ignore him. And in the meantime, we're without a quarterback.
Yeah.
We are. How is anybody going to pick us unless they get Russell Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
Because the Watson stuff is quieted down.
Right. And it's
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
How about if Watson's up at Houston again,
mm-hmm.
and Wilson ends up in Seattle?
Yeah.
This is all a bunch of nonsense and crazy stuff.
It really is. It's so frustrating.
Right?
It's so frustrating.
I'm not frustrated because we got a quarterback, but people think we don't, and that's fine. But, who are you going to... Oh, he can't get us to the next level. Who can?
Mm-hmm.
There's only a couple guys that can do that. Brady, Mahomes.
Right.
I haven't heard one Bear say we should have gone after Dak Prescott for $40 million.
Well,
not one Bear fan. Not one Bear fan's had the guts to be that stupid. Believe me. Gary Jones had to be annihilated. He had to have 15 Tanqueray and tonics in him. To sign that guy to that deal?
I'll tell
Are you kidding me?
I'll tell you, that Dak Prescott agent, he deserves a medal. The deal he worked out for his client, and then he'll be a free agent before he even hits 30. So he'll have another big payday if he stays healthy and plays.
But what's the difference if you made this much money anyway? I could give two craps after that.
Uh-huh.
This is the home run that he hit. I hit a home run once in negotiations. It don't matter after that.
Yeah.
You hit a home run like this. It don't matter. It was great. But that's because of the weakness of the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
My God, why didn't they go after Matthew Stafford?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, they're not going to have any money left. I'm glad Mike Greenberg said this. I just heard you say you're all happy for him. Well, you're not Dallas Cowboy fans because I don't see them getting any better.
That's true.
They're going to be 8-8. They're going to be 9-7.
That's true.
Think about this, Al. Think about this, folks. We're beating up this kid Trubisky who's been to 2 playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys have been in 2 since Aikman.
Yeah. Jeez.
So why are we on Trubisky's ass and everybody, I'm happy for Dak? I wouldn't want him quarterback. I'd rather have Mitch.
Yeah.
For that kind of money, I'd rather have Mitch for 25, period.
Well, 25 might be a little high, but you never know.
Not if you're paying Dak Prescott 40
Yeah.
off 2 bad injuries.
That is true. That is true, yeah. And the Cowboys aren't
That's
going to...
what I'm saying. Why is it high? Dak Prescott makes the playoffs less than Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it high?
Right.
I don't get it. Why is everybody brainwashed? Dak Prescott all of a sudden, let me tell you something. There's a lot of people that think that's the dumbest deal ever in the National Football League. And then some people are afraid to say it. Why? Why? He doesn't. He don't deserve $40 million. Come on.
It is crazy. It is crazy.
It's crazy.
And what is weird for them is, as you just said a minute ago, they're not going to have any money to sign quality free agents.
And nothing changes, Al. They got the same quarterback that they've gone 8-8 with.
Yeah. And
well, we can't bring Mitch back, but they can bring. He was a failure. Mm-hmm. He with the line he's had. Give Mitch a team like that. That guy's had a great. I'm not saying their offense ain't good. Their defense isn't good. That's the problem.
Right.
And Dak does the best he can, but come on. To get paid more than anybody in the history of the game, Dak Prescott, he can't even sniff the playoffs. And he's coming off a bad injury. It's going to be interesting to see. I want to see how everybody shapes it up when they're 5-6.
That's right. If that, right?
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, that division's not going to be a cakewalk like people think.
Yeah, well, and today it was announced this morning, Wednesday morning, that the NFL salary cap this season will be $182.5 million. And so here's what they're not saying. They're not saying what the TV contract deal, the impending TV contract deal is. Jerry Jones is a part of that committee that's negotiating the TV contract. You think that contract isn't going to be the biggest in the history of entertainment? You're wrong, because that's why he gave Dak all that money, because he knows there's a huge windfall of cash coming to the NFL.
So you have a huge windfall of cash, and the first thing you do is spend stupidly?
That's right.
That's $40 million for him is stupid. You know how much he's going to make his first year? Guaranteed, folks. $75 million.
That's wild.
There's no way he's worth a third of that.
Oh,
period.
My goodness.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. That is just nuts.
He's making. Listen to this. He's making twice and a half as much as Jordan ever made.
Oh my goodness. There's something wrong in the world.
He's making $75 million his first year, and he's going to average $42 million after that. Are they out of their minds?
Oh.
Am I the only voice of reason here? And we have a playoff quarterback that's done his accomplishments, and his wins are the same. How come Dak Prescott gets $40 million and Mitch is a bum? I don't get it.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Yeah, it might be because Matt Nagy is the issue here. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, has Mitch Trubisky ever had a guy? The Zeke Elliott contract's stupid too.
I know.
That's a stupid deal. They're done.
Yeah.
I don't see them in the playoffs, and boy, this kid's going to have pressure on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking up Zeke Elliott's contract, because they might have to get out from within that. That whole contract thing is just a mess.
They're paying two players like $60-70 million a year.
Right. In an era where running backs are, good running backs are drafted in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, Elliott signed a 6-year, $90 million contract that included a $50 million of that is guaranteed. Holy cow, more than 50% guaranteed. That's just idiocy. Jerry Jones, I mean, he's a millionaire. So apparently he knows what he's doing, but I don't get it.
Prescott's had a great running back. Mm-hmm. He's had a great offensive line, decent receivers, and what's he got? Oh, but Dak bet on herself. Good. Enjoy being Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're going to end up being with this.
Right.
Jones has lost his mind. I met Jerry Jones back in the 90s when he was sharp. My God. I don't know why. He had the leverage. How did he have the leverage? You know what they could have done? They could have franchised him.
They could have.
For $37 million. They didn't have to pay this exuberant price. Do it again. Let's see it get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I don't understand all this nonsense where he had the leverage. No, he didn't. Yeah. They could have said you're franchised.
Yeah.
For $37 million. And then instead he gives them what?
Yeah. It's
going to be fun.
Do you think that at 78 years old, Jerry Jones might be losing it a little?
From what I've seen, a lot of 78-year-old guys are losing it. So I guarantee you I will be no different. I'm starting to lose it already.
That's unbelievable.
I walked out the other day. I'm looking for my phone. I was talking to somebody on it. I mean, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Forbes magazine says that Jerry Jones is worth $8.9 billion. Now, if that was printed before the Dak Prescott deal, it's probably down to just $8 billion now. So.
Yeah, he don't give a damn. He's got nothing. Jerry, I like Jerry. Jerry's a good guy.
Yeah, he is.
Jerry Jones is a good guy. I think he's been great for the game.
Mm-hmm.
He spent his own money on the stadium, unlike our team. That's family owned.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference between a Cadillac and a Studebaker. You get the stadium that we got because the McCaskey family wouldn't spend their own money.
Right.
And then look what they got in Dallas. I mean, we could have Final Fours, everything else, Dome Stadium, the whole ball of wax, but they chose to go the cheap route, and that's the way it is. But I like Jerry, but they lost their mind on this deal. They're crippled for the next 3-4 years.
Can you think of any other owners other than Jerry Jones and George Halas who have owned the team and also operated the team as general manager, vice president, whatever the title is?
Oh, yeah. Paul Brown.
Oh, that's right, Paul Brown.
Paul Brown, but the damn Cleveland Browns are named after him.
That's right.
I mean, my God. Listen to this. He was the first guy to have film. He was the first guy to have halftime entertainment.
Nice.
I mean, this guy read about Paul Brown, folks.
Mm-hmm.
That day, he was everything.
Yeah.
And then he goes, they got rid of him, and then he goes to the Bengals, steals the Browns' colors, okay, and becomes their head coach. And then he goes back to Cleveland with the Bengals and beats them.
Yep.
That's greatness, folks.
That is greatness. Now I'm hearing.
I mean, that guy was relevant for the the National Football League with Cleveland, and then with he brought the Bengals. That was it. Mike Brown, his son, still runs the team. So Paul Brown's he was one, and then you had. Let's see if I can think of. I'm sure there's other guys that I would say. But Curly Lambeau, Curly Lambeau owned the team and played.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, if you go back into prehistoric ages, then there were guys. Harris played wide receiver, for Christ's sake, you know?
That's right. He's quite the athlete, yeah.
Oh, he played, well, you know the story. You know who replaced him on the Yankees was Babe Ruth.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He played right field.
I forgot about that.
They go, we got this new guy. You might want to look into football. Yeah, who do you got? Babe Ruth. Okay, pass me the pigskin. You know?
That's right. Even his name is better suited for
what
baseball.
What a life he had. He formed the Bears, and he played ball with Babe Ruth, knew Red Grange.
That's right.
He brought in Red Grange. He saved the pro. He made the pro game. George Halas, if he doesn't bring Red Grange in, how do I say it? The National Football League was an off-Broadway theater production then, and college football was king. Red Grange, Barnstorms with Halas and the Bears, they play the Giants, they play Army, they're playing college teams in front of 75,000 people at Yankee Stadium. Red Grange made the National Football League. Joe Namath got the merger done and made it what it is today. Those two players are as important as any players in the history of the game.
And Dak Prescott is making more money than all of them put together.
Dak Prescott could have brought the city that they played in, the whole city back then.
That's right.
I mean, I was reading something that was phenomenal the other day about the movie business. They said, I was reading about a movie that made $10 million back. I forget the movie. In the 30s, late 30s or 40s, and it wasn't Gone with the Wind. But think about that, $10 million. The movies were a quarter.
Wow.
$10 million off of just quarters. You know.
This is a $10 million movie done in the 30s or 40s. $10 million that it made, or $10 million that it cost to produce?
$10 million that it made.
Wow, $10 million. Wow.
But big budget movies started in the 30s with Gone with the Wind. And with Robin Hood, which was just on the other day, one of the great cinema. They won 3 Oscars for, the music score was great, and everything else. The color was in Technicolor back then, which was expensive. I think they spent $1.2 million on that movie.
Wow!
Back in '39.
That is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
But they made nothing but money, Al.
Yeah. By the way, I wanted to ask you, and we'll get back to sports in a second. Dan Aguirre and I were talking the other day about great movie villains, so Hannibal Lecter and The Silence of the Lambs and blah, blah, blah. The American Film Institute did a list of these greatest heroes and villains. So I want to ask you, who is the greatest hero in a movie that you have ever seen? Here's their top 3 on the American Film Institute list. It's Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird, which I think is ridiculous. It was a good movie, but
he's a lawyer, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, exactly. It's Indiana Jones number 2, James Bond number 3. Who do you think is number 4? And I'll give you a hint. It goes back to the 1940s. It's a black and white film that the movie takes place in a country outside of the. It's on the other side of the hemisphere.
Casablanca.
There you go, Rick Blaine, Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah, but
Casablanca.
you know what? You could take Bond and put him up 1.
Yeah.
And get rid of the other 2 goofs. Okay? Tell their story walking, for Christ's sake. But you know what? James, the villains now, the greatest villain, I think, is the Joker.
The Joker, yes.
I don't care which Joker you're talking about. Somebody said to me Heath Ledger probably did the best of all time. Mm-hmm. Even though Joaquin Phoenix did a good job. Not Joaquin.
Yeah, it's Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix, that's right. I get his brother named River. Joaquin Phoenix, I mean, I didn't see the whole thing. I wasn't a fan. I love Cesar Romero. I mean, the Joker, to me, is one of the all-time great villains.
Oh, I'm with you.
In movie history. From the comics from the Batman series to the Batman movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cesar Romero, Heath Ledger, you're talking Joaquin Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
You've had a lot of people play this guy. And Jack Nicholson, who was fantastic as the Joker.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, I think he's the greatest villain. What was the greatest villain? Did they have anybody?
Hannibal Lecter in The Silence of the Lambs, number 1.
The guy's a cannibal, for Christ's sake.
That's right. He's
not a villain. He's not somebody that ties a woman to the railroad tracks. He'll eat your ear,
Norman Bates is number 2 from Psycho.
Yeah, because he's a psychopath. He was nuts. That was a big break for him, for Perkins, Anthony Perkins. If you've ever seen the movie Hitchcock, I mean, it was huge. Janet Leigh got that role. She died halfway through, so he's number 2. I put him up at number 1. Who's number 3?
You're going to hate this one. Darth Vader from the Star Wars movie.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Ming the Merciless.
Yes. There you go.
Are you kidding me? Charles Middleton. Nobody played a better villain than him. And Hans from Die Hard. What a villain he was.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I don't see him on this list. Oh,
my God. James Reichman, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I am with you.
He was awesome. Mr. Takagi will not be joining us for the rest of his life. What kind of holiday spirit is that?
That's right. Now, here's a question for you. Who do you think was a greater villain, Michael Corleone or Vito Corleone, the father or the son?
Michael,
right? Yeah, he's right.
Michael gets you any way he could.
Yeah.
Vito he was sort of like Fred Astaire. Mm-hmm. He had the top hat and everything was smooth. We'll get it done. We don't have to do any more killing. Where Michael will point a cannon at you if you're a senator and say, "I'm offering you nothing," and then the next thing you know, the senator wakes up in a whorehouse with a woman that's been murdered.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, vicious man.
That is wild. All right, back to the world of sports. I wanted to give a shout out to Patrick Kane, who played his 1,000th game, NHL game, and Kane has done it all, boy. He's won 3 Stanley Cups, the Conn Smythe Trophy, the Calder Trophy, the Hart Trophy, the Art Ross Trophy, the Ted Lindsay Award. I don't know what any of these awards stand for. I forgot.
Ted Lindsay, for being not that. Ted Lindsay was a menacing figure, not a terribly attractive man.
Oh, ugly as hell.
Yes. And a fighter. But a leader too. I think he was a captain, stuff like that. It was nice. They had Dave's on yesterday and give a nice little hello to Kane and stuff, and everybody fell in love and bet the Blackhawks, and I bet Dallas because everybody thought they'd win because of Kane.
And a big winner for you, right?
When are people going to learn? Don't fall in love with emotion. Just because it's your birthday don't mean you're winning. There's guys that get paid on the other team. They don't want to hear about your 1000th game. Dallas, and what I put together was Dallas had beaten lost to the Hawks 2-1 with Subban playing out of his mind.
Right.
And then Colleton makes a mistake. And I heard him talking this morning on Visson about the same thing. Mitch Moss took the Hawks yesterday, but early. And when I saw Subban coaching, playing goalie last night, I said, I'm going to win this game. And they kicked the crap out of him.
6-1.
Why play the same goalie again? Mix it up a little bit. He got lucky once.
Yeah, he didn't look good last night.
He was horrible. I was so happy.
Yeah, and so the.
But I also said, hey, happy 1000th. Hey, I told some guy today, Patrick Kane don't pay my mortgage. I don't care. I get Bronx tail on. Does Patrick Kane going to pay your rent if you ask him? No. Right?
That is right. They play Dallas again tomorrow night on Thursday night. Another one of these back-to-back. The whole schedule is back-to-back games. That's how they scheduled the season.
I like it like this.
Yeah, I do too. It gives.
Does it bother you that they play? I mean, baseball, they play a team 4 times. I think the one thing that's going to come out of this, you're going to see different scheduling because I think you're forming now rivalries.
Right.
I mean, when you play a team like 3 days in a row, whether it's basketball or hockey, you're going to end up hating them.
Yes.
Especially if they own you. You know.
Yeah, I was watching some of that Tampa Bay Blackhawks game on Sunday, and there was some pushing.
Oh my God!
Yeah, there was some pushing and shoving, and then the announcers break in and say,
there's been some great fights lately.
Yeah.
They're getting on each other's nerves. They love playing in front of fans. What they're playing in front of is empty seats with a sprinkling of a crowd. Like, I mean, I heard Javi Baez say, they go, what's it like playing with no fans? He goes, like playing on the backfield against, in a simulated game.
That's right.
I mean, my whole thing, if I was a pro player, you get your juice. I remember I used to play park ball, like any of us guys that played baseball, football. So when your girlfriends came or your friends or your buddies or your family came to watch you play, you did better. You wanted to do better.
Absolutely.
Or some guys shied away, but I always wanted to play. I never understood guys whose girlfriends would come to the game and then they play like shit.
I hear you. They get nervous.
I mean, the only guy, my old man would come every so often. And it's the only guy that I'd press a little because I'd really want to play well. Once in a while I'd press for him. But I was in Little League,
Right.
I couldn't even, I was like I didn't crap in my pants. I'm in 5th grade, you know what I mean? Playing at Dillon's with the lights. We had lights before the Cubs.
Oh, that's right. Dillon Stadium did have lights.
Dillon had lights before the Cubs.
That's right. Little
I
Dillon
played
Stadium.
under the lights, but Ernie Banks didn't.
That's right. Dillon Stadium is a little league park in Chicago that holds about 1,000 people. Yeah, it's a great park to play, to watch baseball and for the kids to play
You had an electric
baseball.
scoreboard, you had lights, you had authentic uniforms. I played 63, 64 there. Played on the Cardinals. We had the authentic road uniforms of the Cardinals. They were beautiful.
Oh, awesome. So
They're beautiful. They're the best uniforms in baseball, I think.
yeah, I like the.
You like the red Cardinals? Come on now.
Yeah, I do. But the best uniform, I would say, is the classic Yankees pinstripes. I mean,
Yeah, that's nice. Well, I like the plain uniforms too, like that, like Penn State, the black and the helmet with the no emblem, the Browns. I like those.
Yeah.
Those are fun too. But you're right. It's just one of those things where it just was so fun. The uniforms that they had. I mean, there was the Yankees, the White Sox, the Phillies. I mean, they were all authentic. Phillies had nice uniforms, underrated pinstripes back in the day.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. And I love what the White Sox have done recently with their uniform. Wow. It is really stylish. And by the way, a quick little plug: South Burbs Hitmen podcast.
I like that name. Who did that? Joey?
Joey Two Scoops. He did indeed.
That's a good name. You tell Joey. Mike said that. I saw the ad and everything in Bears Barroom. Good for them. The South Suburban Hitmen.
South Burbs Hitmen, yes. And their first guest
South
is going to
Burbs
be.
Hitmen. I'm sorry.
Their first guest is going to be Chuck Garfien, so that'll be a show to
Oh,
watch.
that's a great guest. Chuck's a good guy.
Yeah, on March 22nd is the debut of that show. And by the way, we debuted a show on Saturday night called Bulls 101.
I saw that. I listened to a little bit.
Yeah, Chris and Laro, they know their basketball. They're talking about coverage defense and drop defenses, and I'm writing notes and learning from these guys. These guys know their basketball. It's really, really good stuff.
I mean, you know what? We keep expanding here, folks. We're getting to 12,000 on Twitter. Make sure you follow the Bar Room. We thank Win Daily Sports for the sponsorship. It's not easy to get sponsorships and podcasts, stuff like that. They're just being great, and we're pairing up on the picks and stuff with Bears Bar Room today. So we'll have all 3 of your picks up at the end of the show, folks.
Outstanding. Now let's talk a little bit about those Chicago Bulls. First of all, did you see any of the NBA All-Star game?
Not 1 second, and I was so proud of myself because I bet hockey that night. I just won't bet on that game. It's contrived. The over-under was 319.5 and made it to 320. It's just crazy how they do things like that. And, I don't like the team concept. I remember talking to David Stern 20 years ago and telling him, is it so hard to just play the world against the United States, guys?
Yeah, right.
Just the world against the U.S.
That's a great idea.
And we might catch our ass because Jokic would be on that team, Embiid would be on that team. As Giannis would be. I mean, my God, we'd have LeBron. We'd have some good players too. But the European players have really come on. And I think that would be the Olympic. It would be Olympic type thing. The world against the U.S. like the Ryder Cup. Why doesn't the NBA do that? I don't get it. I don't care who LeBron picks. I don't care about Durant. I don't. Play it. If you play the world against United States team, that will be taken seriously. That game, don't you think? They don't want to lose that game.
I love the idea. Absolutely.
You know what he said? Well, that's good, Mike. That's something to consider. I said that to him in the mid-'90s. I go, Mr. He used to come on all the time. He came on with me and Jiggs. He came out with me and Buffon. I must have interviewed him 10 times, 12 times, God bless him. And I'd bring it up every time. I'd bring up 2 things. One, he reminded me about the way how he used to run the NBA, like Louis B. Mayer ran the studio system. He had control over everything. Now this Silver guy lets them do whatever they want. Blake Griffin go over here. This guy can go over there. I remember when David Stern stopped the Chris Paul trade. You're not making that trade to the Lakers. It will screw up the balance. Yeah. Silver don't care. And believe me when I tell you this, the All-Star game has to go to the world versus United States format. Then you won't see no 300 for the total. Then you'll see 220, 210. They'll take it seriously. The U.S. versus the world.
That's right. It was a final score of 170 for Team LeBron, 150 for Team Durant.
And believe that by half a point, it made the over.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be from.
They hit 2 threes.
They hit, yeah. Oh my goodness! Talk about.
Lillard hit like a 90-footer. I mean, this is stuff I hear and watch on highlights.
Yeah, right.
I didn't watch the game.
Same here.
I watched hockey. I won a couple bets that night, and I just think the All-Star game's lost its luster. Get some competitiveness in there.
Yeah, Curry scored 28 points by making 8 3-pointers in the game itself.
Yeah, but LeBron's the best player ever.
Stephen Curry is the best outside shooter in NBA history, right?
The best who ever lived.
Yeah. I have to agree with that. That guy is
the best outside shooter who ever lived. Nobody close.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not a specialist in how to take a shot, but it just looks so pure and silky and smooth.
He's not afraid.
Man, he has got.
You know who else is good? Trae Young. Trae Young is so lucky. It's 2021. In the 70s, Trae Young, Van Leer would have picked him up over his head and threw him into the stands. Okay, he wouldn't have made 2 years in the NBA with the defense they played back then. They would have beat he's 150 pounds.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But he could shoot.
That is amazing. Now, the other big news out of that game is Giannis scored 35 points and went 16 for 16 shooting. That is pretty incredible, even in a game where there's no defense at all, to go 16 for 16.
That's great.
What's your record for shooting free throws? I know you shot a bunch of.
I shot 20 out of 21 at the Jordan camp.
Wow, that is outstanding.
I won the 3-point celebrity shootout. Don't make me go through my credentials. I don't want to embarrass people. I beat Norm in the finals. Van Leer. I beat Norm Van Leer in the celebrity shootout.
Wow.
Yeah. That was great at the stadium, at the old stadium, man. It was unbelievable.
I love it. I remember seeing highlights of you playing in that game, and frankly, I was envious that you were on the court playing that game. I was like, "Wait, look at this guy. He grew up in the same neighborhood."
I looked like an absolute moron. I had Subas on. I had a T-shirt with a cut. I didn't know what day it was. June Jackson had just saw me and berated me. Yeah, she berated me. Why don't you take it easy on my husband? I mean, unbelievable.
That's wild.
She said, she called me. She goes, "I think you're a racist." It was unreal.
Oh, my God.
Right there, right by the refrain. Howard Sudbury's right there looking at her like, "Are you out of your mind, lady?" You know? It was great.
Jeez.
And I won. Then I really showed her. I went out and won at halftime. I won the shootout.
The white boy goes out and wins.
And Howard was there, Tellender, Van Leer,
wow,
Doug. There was about 16 contestants.
Pretty cool.
And I looked for her afterwards. I wanted to wave to her. June, I won. You know?
Oh, my goodness.
But she was nowhere to be found.
Well, back to the Bulls. They win their last game before the All-Star break. They went to New Orleans and beat Zion and the Pelicans 128-124. An outstanding victory, although they worked hard to try to give it away.
I bet against them that night. They did good. They were getting 5 points. They played well.
Yeah. So what are your feelings about this upcoming game tonight? Is it? Yes, it is. No, tomorrow night, against the Philadelphia 76ers, who the last time they played, they were demolished by Embiid. They lost 112-105. Do you think that the Bulls are on an upward trajectory, and it's time now for them to beat two good teams back-to-back?
Boy, I mean, it was nice to beat a team that was decent. I mean, New Orleans has been playing well since they moved Zion around a little bit. They don't have him completely down into low post. Yeah, I'd like to see him do it. I'd like to see him show improvement. But I think they're still stuck in this mediocre stage. I do. They're under 500. Mm-hmm. I promised everybody, in honor of Chuck Swirsky, I'll do the twist if they get over 500.
I love it.
Or I'll dance like Chuck and look completely out of my mind. No, he's the best. I love him. The dance is funnier than hell. I just think that they're around 500. If they can finish 500, it's a good year. But I just don't see enough good players with Levine. I mean, one player makes that team. Do you believe? Like I was thinking the other day, how good is that team if Jokic is on it? Mm-hmm. Let's say we got Jokic. Then Levine is no longer the best player on the team. He's the second best player, but he's like the other guy you need. Him and Jokic, we'd win the we'd win the conference.
Yeah.
If we have one player, if we have a Steph Curry, how much better are we?
Oh, my goodness.
With Zach.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
See, we need another guy. Zach's great. But you know what? Check out the teams. I remember, and ladies and gentlemen, for the Chicago Cubs, Bill Buckner. Yay! And then you're looking for the other Cubs to come out for the All-Star game? There ain't none. You know what I mean?
Right.
There was only one, ladies and gentlemen, Dave Kingman. And then and that would be it. And then the Sox, too. You know, they'd have what, ladies and gentlemen, Wilbur Wood. And the team, and he was an all-star, but the teams with one all-star sucked. Sucked. Am I right or wrong?
You're absolutely right, man.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, here come the Giants. Ladies and gentlemen, Willie McCovey. Ladies and gentlemen, Willie Mays. Ladies and gentlemen, Juan Marichal. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Garvey. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Russell. Ladies and gentlemen, 7 Dodgers. And then the Cubs have, ladies and gentlemen, Jim Hickman. Remember?
Oh, you're kidding me.
But that's how it is with the Bulls. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, Zach LaVine. Right? That's why Giannis ain't going to win it either.
Oh, my goodness. I wish we were on video.
Because basically, he's the MVP of the league, and he kicks ass, but he's one of those, ladies and gentlemen, the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo. And he comes out, and there's no other guys from Milwaukee, right?
Oh, you are absolutely right.
When the Bears won the Super Bowl, there was like 12 of them. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Dent.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Mike Singletary. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Hampton. Ladies and gentlemen, Walter Payton. When they didn't win it in '69 and Payton got hurt, Sayers got hurt.
Right.
Remember in '68? Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Butkus.
Yep.
That's it. That means you suck. You only have one All-Star.
You nailed it, man. You nailed it big time. And
right?
I got to tell you, though, Zach LaVine is a pure all-star. This guy is impressive.
He's a monster. He's a monster.
Yeah.
He's great. He's playing great.
The Bulls have to sign him to that max deal, keep him here in
Here
Chicago.
we go again. Jesus Christ. Are we going to win with him, though?
I don't know.
I think I don't know. I mean, yeah, you got to get. I mean, really, I think he's really bought in. I think he hated playing under Boylan.
Yes.
I think they all did.
Yes.
They almost had a mutiny on their hands out. So I give them all the credit in the world. We need another player. We need a Jokic. We need a Curry. We need a superstar to go along with Zach. Then we win the division.
Yep.
Are you telling me if we had Jokic, let's say, and Zach,
oh my
you're
goodness.
telling me the Celtics are beating us?
No way.
No.
No.
You're telling me, Memphis or come on. Are you kidding me? In that division, in that conference, it's a weak conference now.
Yep.
I mean, we contend with Brooklyn. We would contend with Jokic and Zach. Now we got to pick up a third guy. Who would be our third guy? I don't think Wendell Carter's. I'm not a fan. I'm not.
Yeah, he
Markkanen becomes like a Kukoc type, then becomes the third best player if he can stay healthy.
Right. I do love this rookie, Patrick Williams. I mean, he came out. He's a 19-year-old kid, and he is playing like a veteran, and he's just going to get better. Yeah, I mean, he's going to get better and better and better. So he could be that third guy.
I hope so. I mean, you know what? But it's been more interesting this year. I think there's no doubt everybody turned him off with Boylan. He turned us off. I mean, he turned everybody off. And I think Billy Donovan's been a heck of an addition. I see Oklahoma City, though, playing good. They play tough, and that's a team that he did. I never understood. He didn't want to rebuild with them, but then he came to here, to this team, And it's not a rebuild, but it's close, isn't it?
Yep, totally close. I'm looking at the NBA standings just to see who is hot. Where's
Oklahoma City at right now, my friend?
Oklahoma City is holy cow. They are 15-21.
Not bad because he left because he knew they were cooked.
Exactly.
They had nobody left.
Exactly. They've won, and I'm looking on the streak, they've only won 1 in a row and 4 out of their last 10, so they've been a little rocky here.
They cover a lot, but they're in the games. That's all I'm going to say. And they're 5 games under. I thought they'd be worse than that. The Bulls are what?
The Bulls are 16-18, and they've won 6 out of their last 10.
Yeah, they've improved it. I like that win against New Orleans. Like you said, let's see if they can do it again tomorrow.
There's
only 2 NBA games tonight. I didn't see anything good as far as picks were concerned. You got Washington playing tonight. You got San Antonio playing tonight. So it's good to get them back.
Do you look at point differential a lot when you're determining, who to bet on, who not to bet on? Okay.
Listen, I bet on hockey teams. I don't even know where they're at. I don't even know where they play. I don't even know one player on the team. The system gives it to me. I feed the stats in. I do it by longhand. And, the other night, I had Cal Poly last night. I thought it was a dental school. I had no idea. I never bet Cal Poly in my life. I bet them last night. They're getting 6. They win. You know what their record was? Now, it's the system. I would never go. I'm going to bet Cal Poly tonight. You know what the record was? 3-19. And they win the game outright in their conference tournament.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll say. Everybody thought it was nuts.
Did they have really great smiles?
Their teeth were sparkling. With the money I won, I could pay for maybe one guy's wisdom tooth for the definition. Or he could get it for free at Cal Poly. I thought it was a toothpaste. I had no idea I had no idea they had a basketball team. You remember your underwear, your Pepsodent? Cal Poly. I brush my teeth with Cal Poly. Like Polydent.
Polydent, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or as they say in Arkansas, polythene.
All right, let's talk a little baseball. My team, the Chicago White Sox, I don't know what's going on. I know these preseason games, of course, mean absolutely nothing, but boy, it would be nice if they won a few games. I'm looking at...
All I'm telling you is they're talking out of their asses. They're out of their minds. I love them, and you got to back it up. Eloy saying he's going to be an MVP. Tim Anderson saying we're going to go to the World Series. Slow it up, guys, please.
Yeah.
You didn't even win 60 games last year. You got in the playoffs and you got drummed out.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you're going to play over 150 games this year, 160. I don't know what. So you can't be. We still need a starter. I like their bravado, but I think the over/under is like 91 or 92.
Right.
I think it's going to be tough for them to do it. But you know what? They can win that division. I see what Cleveland did, which is get rid of half their guys. Minnesota's supposed to be well-schooled. But, I mean, I'm excited for the White Sox. I hope they do it. And if they can, that will, the rebuild's over. That's what we've heard. Giolito said it. Renteria said it last year. La Russa's got pressure on them. So does the team because they're talking.
Right.
They're leaving bulletin board material. I don't necessarily think they should, but that's how they're going to play it, so we'll see what happens.
Well, they've only one game in this Cactus League.
I know.
Out of 10 games, they've had 2 or 3 ties, and the rest losses. And, boy, it just looks like, what the heck is going on?
The Bears' record was during preseason in 85?
0-4, right?
I think it was 0-4, yeah. And then the next year, 1-3 or something. So.
Yeah.
But wait, hold on. Let me slow myself down. The White Sox aren't close to that. And Lewis Robert almost killed Eloy again the other day. They ran into each other in the outfield. I was watching the game. I'm going, come on, guys.
Come on, is right.
Come on. Eloy's waiting for the ball, and the center fielder comes running, and they run into each other.
That is nuts.
I mean, come on. Everybody wants to be nice to Lewis Robert. Hey, let the left fielder catch the ball that's hit the straightaway left, please. I know you can cover all three. That's not the way to play the game, period.
Yeah, I totally agree. So,
but I hope Tony La Russa wins.
I was just going to ask you.
The vultures are waiting.
Yeah, that's right. I was just going to ask you, you're still thumbs up on Tony and feel good about him being the skipper of the Sox?
I'm the most popular guy in town. I love La Russa and Trubisky. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm invited everywhere.
Who else do you like that's not popular in Chicago?
Hey, can I just say happy birthday to my buddy? Did I say happy birthday to my pal Dan Jigacek?
No, you did not. Dan.
Right. Let me tell you something. Jig-Eye, March 10th, 67 years old today. And without Jigs, I wouldn't be talking to Aldo. And I don't know. He's not in a lot of Hall of Fames. He should be in a million of them.
Yeah, really.
From being the first African-American captain at Harvard. Which, by the way, folks, if you're black, getting into Harvard wasn't easy to begin with, okay?
That's for sure.
Then you become the damn captain of the football team, okay? The first one. All right, if I may say. Dan won't toot his own horn. I'll do that for him. On his birthday especially. Great. One of the most significant voices in radio that never gets talked about. I think one of the more successful African-American radio people of all time. I come from a time when most of the black jocks you heard were on urban radio, Daddy O'Daly, and other people like that. I just think he's a great man, great family man. Also was the vice president of the NFL Players Association.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, it would be nice if Mike Wilbon and Kornheiser, if somebody national would recognize Dan today on Around the Horn. I don't know if anybody's going to hear this or pardon the interruption or something like that. But Wilbon and Kornheiser, they're a great team, but they weren't as good as Jiggets and North, period.
Yep.
4 hours a day, 7, 8 years in a row. Didn't miss a day, neither one of us. He came to work when he had heart failure. I came to work 3 times a week when I had brain failure. Okay? I mean, so I mean, my God. I mean, I'd be hung. He'd be having trouble breathing. We showed up every day.
Oh, my
we
goodness.
played our asses off. We had a great time, and I just want to salute him. He's a great man, great family man, and him and his family. Good for Jigs.
Good for him. And did you mention that, excuse me, that you guys did the Monsters and Money in the Morning show over at CBS2 from...
Well, we did that, and that was a catastrophe, although for 1 year it was good. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was okay. I got severance pay. But the show I was proud of, Monsters in the Morning on Comcast, Dan and I were with Ryan McGuffey and other people, spot on, Jen Patterson. Great show. Great show. If they would have taken that to CBS, it would have still been on. If only you would have been the producer there in the morning at that time.
That would have been a fun gig. I probably would have been late every day, but that would have been a fun gig. It was
good, man. But Dan's a good man. I just want to wish him a happy birthday.
Absolutely. Dan Jiggett's a great backup offensive lineman. He played 98 games. He started a lot of games, too, so I shouldn't just say backup.
He was very fast. He was the sixth guy.
Yes.
If you need a tackle, he was there. Guard, right guard, left. Dan knew how to survive.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he sure did.
How many years did he play in the league? Dan always told me, look, when it comes to making bank, Dan was right with me. We enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Believe me.
98
And,
games.
He had a family and stuff, and it was just great. And God bless him. Just a great radio partner.
Absolutely. All right, let's turn our attention over to the Chicago Cubbies. Those guys. By the way, news from the mayor's office is that they're going to allow 20% capacity at Wrigley Field and Sox Park. I'm not sure what it's called nowadays over at Sox Park, but whatever they call it. What do you think about the 20% admission being allowed?
What stopped them from 30%? I got to get to the bottom of this. Like if there's 30%, people are going to get riddled with COVID. I mean, the whole thing is just a nonsense.
That's a good question.
Indiana, they're wrestling without masks. In Chicago, they're playing basketball with masks. I mean,
right.
I don't get it. Some people have stadiums filled, some people don't. I see guys on the sideline during the NCAA tournament. Half of them got masks on, half of them don't. I mean, so this whole thing has turned into a have and have not nightmare, crazy. I know that I've been following it. I'm just so happy that there's going to be people in there. I'm happy that 20% are in. But I just want to thank everybody as far as ruining most of the city and the businesses. It's been just a wonderful experience to watch.
Oh, yeah. It's so sad what's happened with the economy and small businesses.
Yeah.
But back to the Cubs. Now, on the other hand, opposite of the White Sox, these guys have been winning.
Holy mackerel.
That's right.
No doubt about it.
They've lost only 2 out of their last 9 games. On Monday, they beat the Padres 1-0. What do you think about these 7-inning games that are going on? And what's going on with that?
Joe Torre and that other idiot, Manfred.
Yes.
My God. I think of what they've done to baseball, and I don't know. Firing squad comes to mind. You know? My God. They take the hitting out of the game. They take the play out at second and the catcher. They play 7 innings. They have a guy on second in extra innings. And it's just little league. They get a juice box, I'm sure, that players afterwards, you know. I mean, it just they've made the game worse. I don't care what anybody says. It's just absolutely ridiculous, some of the nonsense that I've seen. But I still love the game. I think the game's not as good as it used to be.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the White Sox could do some buttons, some hit and running, some other good things besides striking out and hitting home runs, which baseball's turned into. And we'll see what happens. But the Cubs, I mean, I see who they picked up, Aldo. Wouldn't you have rather had Darvish back? The money we spent on these other players, we could have just spent on Darvish and had a shot. I don't get it.
I don't get that either. He was starting to ascend and be the pitcher that everybody thought we were getting from the beginning. He was just
then we could have picked up Arrieta anyway, and then you got other players that can pitch on the team. What the hell's going on? Hendricks, what's wrong?
Yeah, absolutely.
We could be right there.
Absolutely.
I don't get it. Why did we need Jack Peterson when we have Schwarber?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's the difference between the two? Seriously, they're both professional hard swingers that want to hit overs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why did we get rid of Schwarber? Why did we pick this guy up? Look at his stats. Compare Schwarber's stats to Jack Peterson. Bring him up, and I guarantee you'll be stunned. What are we doing over here?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It is
Darvish and Schwarber, instead of all these other people. We could contend. Instead, I've seen the over-under 77, 78. That's nonsensical. That's a shame.
Yep.
You got billionaire owners. I really, they bought half the neighborhood. I know they tied everything up. I mean, my God, you got a beautiful stadium. Fill it. I know you can't fill it yet, but my God, because Aldo's even said this. Aldo, as a Cub fan, you said for about 5 years you stopped watching, and that will happen again.
Yep, you're absolutely right. There is a cloud over Wrigley Field, and it's because...
What is Jack Peterson, and what is the difference between Schwarber and Peterson?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people like Schwarber.
Yep.
I just don't understand that. And for the guys that we picked up, we could have kept Darvish, and then we could contend.
Yep.
I look at that division. Are you kidding me? Okay, Milwaukee looks good. Yelich is hitting the ball again.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have a year. But, I mean, come on.
I'm with
you.
you.
We got Chris Bryant. We got Rizzo.
Mm-hmm.
We got Baez.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing over here?
Man.
Get us one. If you keep Darvish, we got a shot.
Yep. Absolutely.
I don't get it.
I'm with you 110% on that. That is wisdom from the mouth of Mike North. By the way, before we get to your picks, I just wanted to share this with you. Lauren Jiggets just posted this. Happy birthday to my dad. My top 5 Dan Jiggets quotes. I'll give you just 2 of them. The first one, money doesn't grow on trees. And then the fifth one, Lauren.
Money stays in Dan's pocket. That was my deal.
And then the fifth.
Let me tell you, Dan, I saw Dan lose $1 in Vegas. He wanted it back. I go, you can't get it back. It was $1 to try to win a car. He put it in the slot machine. He hit it. It didn't work out. He goes, I want my money back. Hey, you can't. I thought it was hilarious. He's the best.
I love it. And then
what was number 2?
Number 2, excuses are like behinds. Everyone's got one.
He's right about that. I heard all these too myself.
I bet you have. I'll go. You probably didn't hear this one. Number 5. I'll jump to number 5. Lauren, what is my password? It's just a question I ask a lot around my house, but I don't ask Lauren.
Jigs, the one that I used that Jigs used a lot.
Uh-huh.
Don't ever confuse. This goes to the Bears or anybody else. All this nonsense during the off days and stuff. Jigs. This is my favorite Dan Jiggets.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever confuse activity with accomplishment.
There you go.
I love that.
I've heard that probably 100 times when I was listening to your show years ago.
Yep.
You guys were the best radio combo of all time.
He's a great man. They call him Pop, his grandkids.
Oh,
Pop.
Outstanding. Now we go to the section of the show that's brought to you by WinDailySports.com.
Yeah! Right on cue today, Elmo. Very good.
Thank you. I try.
Now, I really like being on video because when we're on video, we do tremendous numbers, and we thank you, and we'll get that thing straightened out by next week.
Mm-hmm.
That will be straightened out. It doesn't happen often, folks, but, that's the world we live in. I mean, that's a new saying, isn't it, the world we live in?
Yeah, how about it?
Yeah. But anyway, here's what I got for today, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get to my picks here.
And again, this is brought to you by WinDailySports.com.
Win Daily Sports, Win Daily. Follow them at Win Daily Sports, WinDailySports.com.
Mm-hmm.
Go there. My picks, I have them up every day. Check out North to North. Don't forget, check out Bears Barroom. Bears Barroom, proud to be sponsored by Win Daily Sports. We thank them very, very much. Make sure you follow them. Make sure you go register. WinDailySports.com. Okay, I got 3 basketball games today, ladies and gentlemen, and they're all in college. Now, what's great about my system is I've been playing a lot of hockey lately.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hot. I'm 5-2-1 on this show. I'm 4-1 for the beginning of the week with Win Daily Sports. The first game I have today is Butler. It's a 5 o'clock game. Butler playing Xavier. Pretty good game. Getting 6. Butler's getting 6. Take Butler plus the 6. It could go to 6.5, but right now, in fact, it is 6. It just went to 6.5 at FanDuel. and DraftKings. So 6.5 is the number. My number 2 pick, ladies and gentlemen, UNC Charlotte. Aldo's going, okay, that's like the 4th best team in Carolina. No, but close. Texas San Antonio's playing them today. UNC Charlotte is getting 5. Take UNC Charlotte. So we have Butler plus 6.5. UNC Charlotte plus 5. Don't ask me one player on the team. Don't ask me what the name of their stadium is. Don't ask me who their coach is, because really, I have no idea, ladies and gentlemen. That's the way. And last but not least, Vanderbilt -1 tonight in an SEC tilt. Take Texas A&M plus the 1. So all 3 picks hitting here before we go to Win Daily. Butler plus 6.5, UNC Charlotte plus 5, and Texas A&M getting 1. Aldo, back to you.
All right, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, I like the music came back. Yeah,
yeah, wasn't that cool? It came out right on a perfect note, too.
I like when you take risks. That's you.
That's right. Again, thanks to the folks over at WinDailySports.com. It's Butler plus the 6.5. It's UNC Charlotte plus the 5, and it's Texas A&M plus 1. Great picks, Mike North. I hope I did not jinx you. You've been doing
really.
You don't
jinx me? Are you kidding? We win all the time. We're 5-2-1 on this show. And today I said, I'm going to give them out here first and send them over to Win Daily.
Outstanding, outstanding. All right, the final topic of the day is anything that you want to mention, because I've lost my notes. I forgot what I was going to ask you.
What are you, some 68-year-old former age? Come on now.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I'll tell you what. We got the NCAA tournament coming up.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot of league matchups coming up. Tough. Just watch Win Daily. Watch Bears Barroom. Watch AM 1000, Carmen DeFalco. We got the odds couple coming on. We were just fantastic again last week. I am 10-0 on the Carmen and Yurko show on Fridays at 11:45 the last 8 weeks. 10 straight. If you bet $1,000 a game, you've won $10,000 in 2 months. If you bet 100, you won 1,000, and if you bet 10, you won 100. It's not difficult, folks. Just listen.
That's all you got to do is just listen to Mike North on ESPN 1000, the odds couple, and right here at the bar room, the Mike North advantage. Mike, you are the absolute best. I apologize about the technical problems, but we'll get them all figured out.
Hey, what are we going to do? What can you do? I mean, you know what? Thank God it's not a plane.
That's right. So I just want to let our listeners know on this audio podcast is that we will put up a video version on our YouTube channel. Now, you won't see the beautiful face of Michael North, but you will not also see the ugly face of Aldo Gandia, but it'll be up in an audio version type on our YouTube channel, and of course it will always be up on our audio podcast. And so that is it for today. Mike, say goodbye.
He'll tweet it out. So long, everybody.